What the heck you doing sitting down? Get your butt up and train.
Yep.
Let's go!
What's up, my YouTube people? I know it's been a long time, but I'm back. Just been really busy, taking classes, teaching classes, all kind of stuff. You guys should have already seen my newly updated everyday carrier video that I put out today or yesterday, one of them days. And today, I'm going to be talking about this guy here, the SPX 930. But with that, I'm not going to be, I'm sorry, the 930 SPX, the Mossberg 930 SPX. Now, also with this video, I'm going to be kind of talking about, as you see how I got this shotgun slang across my top of my shoulder. Talk about the wrong and right ways of handling a combative shotgun and why we do things the way we do. Now, a lot of things may come faster for your competition shooter in the way that they move and turn their gun and flip it over and load the gun like this and all that good stuff. But there's reasons why we do things the way we do. Okay? First of all, if we think combatively in the United States in a real fight, okay? Just stick realistic. We're not talking about Katrina times where a lot of guys had to, you know, face a lot of people with guns and all this other good stuff, or a lot of people that wanted to kill a lot of people at the same time. It's about a USA battle. So with this, the only time that you would probably expend all this ammo is if things really got bad. So reloading this thing would probably not come in a realistic real world battle in the United States unless things got really bad. Now, let's talk realistically. Realistically, what would you do? Well, I may have to combat load, I may have to administratively load, I may have to do all kind of other things to get this thing to the point where I want it to be. So let's say right now if I had birdshot in here, because that's what I thought the kids and my spouse and everybody else could handle, right? That's what your thoughts are. So if that was your thoughts and you wanted to put birdshot in here, first of all, it's a very bad idea. Okay? That's number one. But let's just say you did that. Then you wanted to throw a slug or throw a buckshot into here, then you may have to do things. Okay? Now, if you carry this thing combatively like you're supposed to, this is a 7 and a 2 plus 1 in the head. That means 8 rounds can be shot out of here full up. Okay? I'm going to show you guys a little trick before I get started and run my mouth too much about how you actually can put 9 into this gun. But I'm going to tell you why you should not put 9 in it. But let's talk about why you shouldn't first. First thing first, if I ever wanted to change from buckshot, which is what I suggest that most people carry for a home defense load, and I wanted to put slugs in here, which is what I love to carry also, then if you had 9 in here, you would have to rack this thing at least twice because you got to empty a chamber, okay? And then once you rack it twice to make this load up to 7, to put that 7th round to go into the tube, now you have to load your slug and rack it again for a 3rd time. So, would you much rather rack this thing 3 times before you shoot, or load this with 6, load your slug, rack 1 time, and you're ready to go? It sounds a whole lot easier to me, I don't know about you, but a whole lot easier to me to put 6 in the head, that way I can load a slug and rack it 1 time. You should always carry your shotguns empty inside the house, in my opinion. Now, there are some people who may live alone that you can carry one in the head. But with me, kids, I just show them how to utilize these tools and rack it if they need it. Okay? The shotgun should not be your first alternative. That's in my opinion. Should not be your first alternative. Why? First of all, it's a large gun. If somebody breaks into your house and you don't have the opportunity to wake up out of your sleep before they get onto you, which is 9 times out of 10 what will happen, if you don't have a good alarm system or some type of levels of diversion by the time they get to your room or whatnot, then this thing is going to be pretty hard to find in the midst of the night. Okay? So, my opinion, when it comes to this thing, leave it unloaded, leave it rackable to the next slot, and leave it off of safety. Okay? Alright, enough of my running my mouth. Let me show you guys that this gun, which is a 7+1, can actually take 9. So we're going to put it here on my stomach. I'm going to rack out 9 rounds just to show you. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it locks to the rear. Let me show you guys how to do that. Rub, if you don't mind, ma'am. Can you bring that to me? Bring these 9 rounds to me. I'm going to run the bolt for it by pressing the bolt release here. And I'm going to first load my first 7 rounds. 1, 2, short stroke, got one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, when you get down to the 7, and you got your last 2 rounds, okay, you got to pull back on your bolt just enough for it not to do that. And I did that anyway. Just enough for it not to do that. Gotta reload this one up in here. Pull your bolt back just enough. You can kind of hold this, your rounds that are already in there, hold them in place, and put your 8th round down inside the tube, all the way at the bottom, and push it all the way down. Okay, give me number 9, Ruby. Alright, then you take number 9 and you actually stick it in the tube or just drop it down and release your bolt. Give me some issues here. Number 8 wants to try to push up all the way in. And of course, it's always easier when you're not on camera. But there you go. I have 1 here, 1 under here, and I got 7 in the tube. Alright? So, let's talk about mounting this shotgun and a little review of the SPX 930. If you have a Mossberg SPX 930 and you have it like me, I have the Blackwater edition, I changed out my stock. I went into the store and they had one without a pistol grip sitting on the shelf, and I asked to change it out. They changed it out for me. So you may not get as lucky because these things are actually pretty hard to find. But I love not having a pistol grip slide here. I love this one because it's easier to mount. As I'm mounting the gun, this is port arms. As I'm mounting the gun, I can go ahead and be taking off safety right here. Boom. And I pull it into my shoulder, I'm ready to fire. Okay? And when I bring it off, I can take it off safety. Up, safety off, and I'm ready to fire. Okay? When I pull off my shoulder, safety off. Okay? It makes it very easy. That's why I love Mossberg, because Mossberg safeties are here, but the only thing that really makes it easy is having this type of stock on your shotgun. Of course, you guys have seen my other shotgun. I have the Interstate Arms 975, the IHawk model, or Hawk 972, whatever it's called. I don't know, but it's the same thing as a Remington 870, but That one has the knock stock pistol grip stock on it, which it makes it extremely hard to work the safety on both the left and right side, because every time I go to take safety off, I gotta flip the gun or take my thumb all the way over. Okay, extremely difficult unless you have this type of stock on here. Another thing I love about this gun is that it's super duper light. I mean, I can basically toss and handle this gun the way I want to. Okay. Another great thing is when it comes to combat loading or administratively loading this shotgun, I can actually sit this one into my forearm here, and it's not too heavy. So I can load from here, which is where you're supposed to be loading the gun, in front of you, not down here up under your shoulder. Okay? Combative way, competition way, combat way. Okay? And when I put a rail on here, then I'll be able to flip over top and press my button. Okay? Because I'm a left eyeball shooter on long rifles, but I'm a right-handed shooter. Some other things I love about the SPX is it has the extended, let's just call it a bolt assist lever. I don't really know the correct terminology for this bolt assistance lever here, but that's what I would call it, because that's exactly what it does. It's what helps the bolt to come to the rear. I do love that. Another thing I love about the SPX is that it has the rails on the top here, right here, and it also comes with the XS big dot sights for, you know, your viewing purposes. I took my front sight off because I had an optic on here, but as you guys will see in the video later on when I was shooting, that red dot did not work all that great, so it actually kept coming off, turning off on me when I was shooting. So it's not capable of handling large thumps from this guy. Another con, it's not really a con, but this is for most, you know, gas-fired semi-automatic guns, is that when you put a lighter load in it for shotguns, a lighter load will cause them to be very finicky. So I had a small brass bird shot that kept not cycling all the way. So if you're going to buy a bird shot, make sure you get the brass that's very, you know, a little bit longer, has a little more powder in it, that'll give you a little more kick. All right, because you want this thing to cycle every shot and not have to rack it down. Because one thing I found is that in the process of shooting this bad boy, you can actually reach up here and grab it like that. But the problem I was having is me not being used to it. I would not cycle it all the way, so I would short stroke it like this, and that right there would happen. So I would have to come back up and pull it again. And you'll see that on the video at the end as I'm shooting. As I'm shooting, I'm not stroking it far enough, and that just comes from me not being used to the gun just yet, which is alright, because I'm going to get there. But just first starting out, you know, those are some things. For the most part, I think it's going to be fairly easy to put accessories on here, because it has the same two pins right here that the Remington has. I'll lift it up a little more so it'll focus there. 1 and 2. So you can just knock these two pins out to put on your forgot what that junk is called too. Basically side saddle. Your side saddle for your 6/12 gauge. I don't know what's going on with people. Don't talk about me. I'm gonna talk about you. No. But for the most part, I love this gun. It's light. It's durable. It's what Jerry Mitchellette shoots for his competitions. He uses this in an open gun match, which kind of tells you that it's a great gun, great shotgun. I love it. I paid a pretty cheap amount for mine. Yours would be a little bit higher than mine. I get pretty good deals for guns, so I paid a lower amount than the normal. But yours would be somewhere around the area of $6.99, depending on who you went to. But that's it, folks. I don't have too much to say about this shotgun. Just when you're handling this bad boy, handle it right. You know, combative versus competition way. You know, there's many different ways people show you how to shoot shotguns and how to mount them. Your head should always stay in the same place no matter if you're shooting handgun or shotgun, okay? Watch, my head doesn't move. The gun comes up to my head. Only thing moves forward is my shoulders. My shoulders go forward for me to take hold of the recoil. But other than that, your head should never move. The gun should always come up to your head. So you see a lot of people do this, and then they put their head down on the gun. Alright? Keep your head up. Handle the gun properly. Don't forget, if you shoot a lot of shots, you have a tendency on the semi-automatic shotgun to put your thumb up top. It handles heat pretty well, but I still wouldn't suggest you resting that thumb up there too much. It doesn't need a heat shield. It never gets that hot, but I'm sure after you run a 100, 250 round course, then you'll start to experience that real heat. Other than that, I love it. It's an excellent shotgun. Like I said, it can have 9 in the head if you're shooting at a class or something, but never for home defense purposes. Always only fill it up with 6. Don't go as far as putting 7 rounds full up because you may need that other one. Now, if you do put 7 rounds, the good thing about that, I have 7 rounds right now. Okay? Pull this thing back just slightly. Pull that one out. Drop a new one in. Alright, pull that one out. I keep doing it too far. Oh well, you get what I'm saying and what happened the first time. Anyhow, guys, enjoy the video of me shooting. Carry your gun like you're supposed to here in port arms or slung. Alright, you're going to do muzzle up or muzzle down. Just make sure you know what you're doing. Alright, with all that said, you know I love you. Y'all make sure y'all have a great time and a safe time when you're out there shooting. Make sure y'all win that goddamn fight. I'm Steve. Y'all make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share the video. And that's it. Now, Rob, you got anything to say? No? No? Alright. Y'all have a great one. I got a new red dot on here.
Oh, no, not
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Cycling. Eight again.